Yasuo Senna bot lane. Definitely more on the scaling side. I think that Yasuo can have a relatively safe laning phase, but I think the beauty of Yasuo Senna, we've seen this in last week at the LEC.
That's a nice way to show appreciation towards the same fact as Isma's not gone. Video's got to step up to the wave. He's just burnt his flash. He's trying to rush it thinking, nah, I'll be fine. As Isma comes on in, he's got the flash, the flail's out. All he needs is a couple more autos and Video's going to die. That charm off a cooldown and it doesn't matter. First blood comes down and well punished from the greed of Video.
I mean, I will say I'm surprised.
With that first Dragon going down, at least for SK, we talked about the front to back. That's great as Niski tries to jump on in. He needs a flash ulti here. Kazi and Hylissang have no summoners, but playing around the fact he can poke down. While you can see Hylissang has also moved up here, now syncing up with Douglas a bit more as well. As Veti has told you, 2 seconds till the grubs come up as Isma launches the prison out. Hylissang might be in trouble. It's a double knock up as well. Good CC from SK. And Hilly's on a hair's breadth with no summoners from before. Isma flashes and matches, and down he goes as Niski sends Douglas on the spot. That ult is something to give him time, and it works! How does it work? You don't know until you see it with your eyes. The charm as well, almost catching dots on the way out, but
just yet, but he's here to join the party. We see Ari stuck underneath her tower. No ulti available, of course.
Nor for Photon either. That's going to be a route down onto Dos, and it interrupts the charm too. Good pick. Dos can't get out, and Video secures a kill, while now one grub left behind. SK were able to deny 6, but not 5. So Vitality in the end also getting the pick off. They have the gold lead, and it's 2,000 for that amount here at the 11-minute mark. So the early game still going spectacular, despite SK finding that pick before.
There was so much on cooldown for both sides in that exchange that I'm honestly surprised that SK tried to fight that.
Might be dead. I mean, Rumble overheats, and there you go. Big bad Photon again performing out of his right. I think the fastest I've ever seen, 100 stacks is probably about 17, 18 minutes. I think, no, maybe it's even faster than that. Maybe 16 we're talking about. As no one to reference. Photon's going to get ulted in the meantime, though. Equalizer does come down. Ult a little bit late from Hilly. He can't do too much in the response. The ganking squad there, and
CC of a Cassante and Sejuani. It's not going to be enough, but Douglas.
Corrupted. It's good. Onto Isma. Remember, he's got no ulti, so one in return with a quick charm. That's a kill. Over to Douglas. Now he picks up one himself. And right back on the board are Vitality. The best of 3 goes. Again, you know, last split, I feel like it was a bit of a shock in the pan. I remember the Vitality.
He's safe with this Rakan, and I can bait VTO out, which means that we can get a kill. But VTO reacts. It's almost like I say almost like, he's clearly very aware of the collapse. And he just sidesteps it very well.
Good driving.
2 towers secured. That's fine, they can still send it down here. I don't know if he'll actually make connection with the tower. Actually, now on his side of the jungle, they've spotted out Isma. Just guarantees this top tower. Contention, I say that word a lot, but I mean, this is kind of how pros think, right? You're re-saying like, okay, what's the next objective? What are we thinking about? What are we thinking about? And overall Vitality, really nice setup. Photon needs to be careful.
I think he's just dead here. I mean, he's going to overheat for a second. There is a flash available. Don't listen to me. Again, this is why I get paid to yell.
But now they know exactly where Isma is, which unlocks a lot of options for Vitality. They're going to look towards that tier 2.
Well, actually, it might be in trouble. I mean, Card's going to get taken over the turret. He's just exploded upon center right wall and save his life, and it's a shutdown. Now for the Viol on top of this Zeri. Can they get Exekick? They can't! They can't kill Exekick. He kites back in front of his team where Irrelevant is already so tanky. And with a knockback as well, Hilly's up next, and this is the problem. If they get a tank in front and the damage behind, it seems so easy for SK to execute like that.
This is also why Irrelevant earns so much praise.
Oh, yeah.
What a great play from him. Vitality's logic and decision made the Dragon.
And it'll be third as well. I mean, how's the steal from Douglas? He has to commit all or nothing at all. And nothing is the answer. His teleport by the double's been burned by Vitality. They're trying to run them down. But remember that Irrelevant has 2 items.
The beauty of the position that SK find themselves in now is... Oh, they may have found a pick.
Again, Photon didn't burn flash last time, though. Equalizer's out. Damage on Isma is out. The flash behind him as well. He's still overheating, but he won't get the chance to auto again. Niski sends him up against the wall, and it's a beautiful return from SK, but now they have to get out as Niski is the new target. He won't burn a summoner, but he will burn his life as it's a 1-for-1 trade.
I wonder if this is a Baron possibility. Isma is very suspicious. They don't know if this is a trap or not, but I think they're just going to get it.
Now they see. I mean, where's the damage at 3K?
Douglas.
Steal! He does! keeps Vitality nice and strong, but now for the turnaround play, SK have brought in the quickness and Dots in a great spot. Niski's ult with so is Hylissang will take one for the team. It's a double already as they're diving. This turret still here, and Kazi just has to sit, try and play around with the triple. Already given over to Exakick, but Video looking for one back. 3 members for the Costa Baron. You still get the Baron. SK picking up the Baron, sneaking that from under the thumb, and Vitality are left there chilling with the Dragon coming up in 30 seconds. As Douglas's angle could be huge. He flashes. He's going to cease and desist with the equalizer on top. And Hasaki execute the target. They just need to finish it off, and finally they do. Vitality all in, and it pays off. 500 grand on red. I think you're getting about at least 250 back with Niski getting a kill on Douglas to re-engage the flash away. Video's out for the time being, but the quickness there as Photon is burning alive. Dos flashes over and will get the kill by himself. It's so messy as SK still have numbers advantage, and Photon is left standing in the midst of the fight. It all erupted. It all just started with a great pick, and as Photon again, SK have been trailing in gold this entire game, but never out of that arm's reach. It's still very valiant as they look for this front to back that continues to be angled by people like Isma. Dos irrelevant with the engage, while Exakick and Niski, the DPS carries are doing it all. Quickness now comes through, turret goes down. It's the knock up again, and for Dos, he's sacrificing his life, but it's all in a good cause. Exakick can continue to stand up alongside Niski. The DPS must be cheering with how easy it is to front to back.
But it's getting harder and harder for Vitality to actually execute on these fights. Irrelevant is such a monster.
Kazi, well played, dodges away, and again!
Ooh.
Oh, Kazi with the fancy feet. It's like watching Michael Jackson on Beat It as the last breath gets him out as well. Niski under turret is tanking up as Equalizer follows through. Kazi is still alive, dancing around. If only they could finish the job. Vitality would add so much more, but
evidently gets dived on.
And again, Exakick, I mean, it's been hard to kill him as we've seen already. Video's going to try, though. Spirit Rush over the wall. Charm doesn't connect, though. Equalizer is following through, so Vitality have got some good damage out, but Video's almost dead. Dos now looking for him as sending the blade out is good, but Douglas is isolated. And SK, again, it's all these tools used to kill Exakick, but they just never be able to finish the job. As Hilly over the wall, it's actually going to be for Video. He's just destroyed for a shutdown. And Vedius, as we keep seeing these fights play out, now it just feels so hopelessly doomed. Card's going to try again, but Irrelevant gets a kill. It's a snipe down on Hilly from afar as well. SK with another. And these team fights are way too out of control. But it feels like Vitality's hand in it has just completely gone.
A very different look for SK. Their early game, they fell behind a little bit, but they played these team fights to perfection. Their team fighting was arguably their weakest point so far this split, but they've cleaned that up coming into game 1.
I mean, it's an opener for game 1 for SK that looks brilliant. Still the resilience here in this game, comp or no comp, as Exakick now has to run away. It might not be over yet, thanks to the equalizer from Photon.
I mean, he flashed in, used Hourglass while had the Flame Splitter up to kill the minions as much as possible.
He's like, hang on a minute. There's something going on in there. Seeing Irrelevant now is good as well as Niski gets the shove back. Kazi was too far forward in mid, and he's just going to die. That might open things up. The ult to get him out is a good attempt, but Niski gets the kill. 5 versus 4. Baron, as you said, Vedius. Now, this just seems like an easy
Irrelevant catching out Kazi and Vitality as they're trying to siege onto that bot tier 2, unlocking the 3rd dragon down.
Useless. Fair call. Without the ult, he feels like it. Niski, as he steps up, I mean, just trying to do the final bit of damage that ends this game. Card's going to be tagged down. There's the ulti. He'll get run down here as well. No fancy feed allowed. They just run him through. One mistake and punish well. As SK going forward now with the tanks. Look how easy it is. Trying to deny that is Hylissang and Video kiting back, but in the front line, Photon sits until he's burned himself. Hilly jumped on, and the gap closed from SK is oppressive. The team fighting has been oppressive as well. And to open up this BO3 for our spring playoffs, the LEC say, hey, SK, you got your dancing shoes on today as well.